Redlining existed because black people had money.
Mm.
It was institutionalized discrimination in order to prevent black people from moving into certain zip codes.
Two choppers, my partners, make it shake maracas. Two choppers, my partners, make it shake maracas. Two choppers, my partners, make it shake maracas.
But inside of our culture, that's why, like the culture that I was a part of, the HBCU culture, inside of the culture of the neighborhood he lives in now, Tomerville, Atlanta, the affluent black neighborhoods never had a problem with that. We had our own stores, had our own schools, and the school we went to, the school he's talking about, me and Conz went to school together. And that's why you can see that, you know, we both creative, we both came out of a creative path. And so we actually came from a background of affluence.
Yeah.
Even though we lived in, that's why we always like air quotes when we say, yeah, I'm from the hood.
That's why even when you said it to me, I'm like, but that's not.
Yeah, but we
giving.
did. We grew up across the street from projects because those projects were put into redline neighborhoods.
Yeah.
But we grew up in upper middle class families. But we still were exposed to the drugs and the gun violence and all the things that happened around us, while our houses were like oasis, and we had good church going folks, and we got family churches, and me and Conz might even be cousins, you know.
Might be.
Yeah, but that was the whole reason for it.
Who did this stuff?
So this is the art of Nada. Nada is an artist and fashion designer from North Carolina. She works in fabrics and multimedia. So she does a lot of custom.
This is.
Those are multimedia work. So she works in oils, acrylics, spray paint. She even has comic book pages.
Oh yeah, see. Okay,
Yeah,
that she
her
plastered
work.
on.
Yeah.
Oh, nice. And look at that, because that looks like it's.
So her work has a lot of different layers.
Yeah, that's what it is. It looks layered. This is cool.
That's Grace Jones right there.
Why did I think that was the little Simpson boy? Is that? I've never seen the Simpsons.
Grace Jones.
I mean, I know I see that now, but just seeing that eye looks like his eye. Ooh, I like that. Who's this person?
Jason Aldridge.
Jason Aldridge.
Jason's local, right?
Yes. Yes, he's from the area.
So you see, he uses a lot of different kind of mediums.
He's definitely a multimedia artist as well. He uses oils, charcoals, acrylics, and he does some awesome pencil work.
Oh, this is pencil. Jeez Louise.
The Tupac is his first charcoal piece.
Charcoal.
He does realism.
Wow. And he also did these? Oh, wow. What's the name of this photo?
He calls it emancipation.
Yeah, but,
he did that several years ago.
Yeah, but no, it's an actual man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And Will Smith.
Yeah.
Just did the movie Emancipation. That red piece is one of the most talked about.
Is it?
Yeah, everyone loves that piece.
Why? What do people say?
It's the interpretation of it. I've heard 50 or more interpretations and never heard the same one.
I'd have to just look at it to give any.
And I've asked him, what is the real meaning of it? He was like, I can't tell you, because people talk about it so much.
Yeah.
Like I said, some people say, when I first saw it, I was like, hey, the brain hooked up to the intestines. For lack of better words, I said, a person must have shit for brains. And he's maybe listening to the wrong thing. But and I've heard, like I said, I've heard so many different interpretations.
Right.
So many different interpretations.
Yeah.
I just like for people to look at it and come up with their own story.
Yeah, I would have to look at this one myself. And who's this person?
So this is Star Wars. This is this section.
That's fun. This isn't the actual Viagra man, is it?
No.
Okay, who is this man? A bank?
A bank, yes.
Monopoly. Yeah, that's what it is.
Uh-huh.
What's his name though?
Stalwart. Brandon.
Oh, this is also Stalwart. This here, Alfred had to explain to me. I thought this was a man. He's saying that this is a child on her. That's interesting. Is this the same person? No.
Yes. So
Oh, it is?
this section right here is Apollo. Apollo is another young artist from the area.
Mm-hmm.
He recently joined the gallery. Actually teamed up with him to do that big mural downtown where we were filming.
Yeah.
It was right across the street, the Figures mural.
Right.
And Figures mural is pretty big for the city because those three men did a lot of powerful things, especially for our area and for our people, period.
Yeah.
Yeah, they defeated the Ku Klux Klan and bankrupted them. The other father, all of them were senators.
Mm-hmm. This is my favorite. Alfred told me this is like crabs in a barrel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow, I love this one so much because I could not tell that that was going down.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pit. Wow.
And there's so many stories being told in this picture.
Yes. I love this one.
Every wall, the four corners represent something in our community.
Right. I might have to get that one myself. That one's really nice. Same. No, this is Nick.
Yeah, so I have to put her information up. This is from Nicole.
Oh, that's so pretty. Those colors. Oh, look at that. This almost looks like the doll from Rugrats, if you look at that. This is a different artist.
Yes. And these are works by Charlotte Diana.
Okay.
And Charlotte Diana is a member, and this is works for her first solo exhibition.
Nice. This is so nice. Who's this person?
Same artist.
Oh, Nicole? Mm.
Charlotte Diana.
Oh, Charlotte Diana. These two.
Yeah, so
Okay.
this is one of her pieces that was just regularly hanging in the gallery.
Okay.
And this section right here is from two different artists. So the two digital pieces on the end are done by Carl Junkie.
When you say digital, what do you mean?
He designed these digitally in computer software.
Oh. So this one and this one.
And he printed them up himself on canvas, stretched the canvas himself, and handmade the frames.
All right, here we go. Check that out.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I'm not showing it down because the art.
That's on the painting.
And then.
Oh, so it moves?
No, I'm saying if you had this art in your house, you'd have your, it's just like the art is a part of it.
Right, that's what I'm saying, yeah.
It comes over you.
That is cool.
Why is it? It's down there too. It's on the phone. It's on the phone.
I have a necklace.
And these three pieces are done by Wayman.
Wayman?
Another young artist from our area.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man. Look at the fashion.
Oh, yeah.
This is like a custom piece I did.
Right.
For my buddy Marty McFly. Especially when we had the currency tour going on. So
Oh, nice.
I did this for him. And every time I had a show at the museum, they would always contact me to showcase this piece.
Oh, wow.
Our shows are all never about this.
Yeah, never about this.
Yeah, so I would be doing an art show about another subject.
Right.
And the museums would always say, hey, make sure you bring the jacket too.
Right.
So I would always get him to ship it to me. And the last time, he was like, you know what, Conz8000, keep it there. The people love it.
Yeah.
I'll get it back to you.
Aww.
I'll get it back from you one day. He paid a pretty penny for me to do that piece. So shout out to him.
Dang. And what's his name? Who you made it for?
Marty McFly, Mad Hatter.
Okay.
This is another piece. This is my personal jacket.
What is this pill?
Okay, so this jacket is an ode to the first Japanimation that came to America back in 1998.
Japanimation.
Yeah, called
Okay.
Akira. They call it anime.
Kira?
Akira.
Kira.
Yeah, so it's short. They call it anime now, but back in the day it was called Japanimation. And Akira is about some young kids who it was based in the future, 2015. So when 2015 came out, it was a big thing.
Yeah.
And then also around September, it was like the 30th or 40th year edition, anniversary of this animation. So it's an ode to their friendship. The kid was in a biker gang, and he wore a red jacket with this pill on the back of it.
Right.
And there's a lot of people who put this. There's a bike slide that he do in the animation. It's become iconic. It's in Jordan Peele's last film, The Alien Children.
Oh no, nope.
No.
Okay.
So when a girl does the slide on the bike, that comes from that animation.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, I just recently found out why Kanye West used to wear the polo shirt. All his music videos are references to this animated film.
Really? Yeah.
His friend, they have a bike accident. Another older biker gang is chasing them.
Yeah.
And there's another older guy who's sneaking this kid out of the government facility because they're testing on him. And he has powers. So when they all meet up, the powers kind of transfer to his friend Tetsuo. And he's the youngest in the biker gang. He has a bad attitude, so it's affecting him. Towards the end of the movie, he gets these powers. He's just trying to kill everybody. And in the stadium, his arm starts to grow. And
oh, I see.
Yeah, so he snaps out of it. And he tells his friend to kill me.
Oh, wow.
But he had to do what he had to do before he destroyed the whole world.
Yeah.
And so this jacket is an ode to them because he wore that jacket with the pill, and then his arm grew like that.
Oh, wow.
A lot of people want to buy that jacket. I'm like, no, it's just for show.
Yeah.
Jacket. But you always hire me to do a custom piece for you.
Right.
And the initial question about how can we help stop what's going on, like with American porn.
Have you thought of any solution to where our communities don't continue in that spiral or the constant cycle?
And that's to be creative. They've taken the arts out of the schools, so that's taking the human element out to think for yourself. If everything is about processes and the processes that are given to you, they want you to think a certain way, be a certain way, add a certain way, walk a certain way, dress a certain way. If you want different results, you have to do differently. So that means you can't do exactly what's being told to you in school if they've taken that part out. And that's what art does. Because we come from the great creator. We didn't come from the great program. We came from a creator, and we are creatives. So that means we must create. You know what I'm saying? And we create in many ways. We create through giving life and the things that help us out in life. So one day, I had asked the kids, what did they want to be? And did they like shoes? All the kids said, hey, we love shoes. Just so happens there was an assistant principal and a teacher standing in the door. And I told them that tomorrow I'm going to bring up some blank sheets of paper, like a coloring book on pages that I've made of different shoes, Jordan 1s, Mags, Air Mags, and stuff like that. Give it to the kids, let them color and design their own shoe. I get home and get a call that the school might not want me back up there anymore. They didn't think that how I was teaching was working. They were against the shoes. They said shoe design and things like that are not for little girls. It's for boys. And tomorrow will be your last day. We'll come back up there. I said, okay, cool. So when I came up there, I set my camera up on my tripod. And I invited all the teachers, invited the principal to come in and watch this. I asked the kids, did they like shoes? They all love shoes. I say, so does every kid in here have a pair of shoes on? I say, yes. Do you think that is essential? I'm like, yes. So I started naming fashion designers. Now, one time did I name a male fashion designer. And I said,
wow.
Yeah. And so I said, do you know what all those fashion designers have? And you like those designs? They're like, yes, those are all female designers. And you're like, wow. So I gave them the study. I was like, well, what I'm teaching you guys is what I call progressive thinking. It's not just about art. It's about thinking and thinking for yourselves. And you have to think progressively in this world. Or you digress. I said, this is what we're going to do. I'm going to give each one of y'all a sheet of paper. I want you to think about an invention that can help the world out. Think about something around your home that'll help you out. If there's an issue or problem you see your parents with, like, how can I fix this? You know, or just create something new. And I did that. And I said, at the end of the class, I'm going to take those notes. We're going to read them out loud and see what we all came up with. I had those folks in tears because those kids came up with some of the most innovative inventions to this day I have ever heard of. And I put them in, I locked them up, put them in a paper, gave it to them. I say, you hold these. And one day I want you to get patterns. I told them what patterns were and all of that. And I want to see some of these things come to fruition one day. Some of those kids came up with new prefixes, suffixes for words, all different types of machinery. But when they came up with different words and adjectives and things of that nature, the people were so blown, and the teachers were all, I look back, I got a standing ovation because they could not believe. And I said, this is what's missing, because you never gave these kids a chance to actually think for themselves or be innovative. But I had to drop that seed on them so they could do so. And I said, now, some of these kids have made greater things than some of y'all ever have in your whole life today. And I said, that's not to brag and say that you don't have the power, but look what just happened in this class today. These kids made everybody proud, and y'all thought these were the worst of the bunch. Come to find out, all these kids are geniuses. I think creating art will help us out a lot. Be a problem solver.
Being an image bearer.
Y'all just learned me something, because I am a person, I try to simplify things often, and I've just been able to put language to that, because in my head I'm like, okay, you do this, obviously I know everything isn't as simple as it sounds, but I'm like, okay, how do we get there? And I'm not very patient either. You all have helped me, you and Alfred have helped me to think about it differently, because I do see we are all creative because we come from a creator. And so when I don't see people walking in that identity, I become a bit irritable. And so I'm like, so let's just do something about it, instead of not really realizing, wow, maybe people don't even realize that, because everybody wasn't taught how I was taught. And everybody, like, I grew up in the church. I grew up having a relationship with God. Even when I didn't understand what it was, I always had that. So it's sometimes difficult for me to see and to understand that people didn't have that same experience. So now I haven't been in a school, especially with young children, in a long time. When I was in elementary, we had art. And we learned, Mozart was my favorite classical musician growing up. And we painted with oil paints. And so I knew all of these things. I can walk up to a painting. I was at the High Museum in Atlanta maybe a week before I came down to Mobile. And I remember seeing some of the art and being like, wow, I know who that is. And I was like, I learned that in 4th grade in Miss Klein's class, but we also swapped classes. So I didn't even realize that children didn't still have that. So that makes me think about what the heck I could be doing. My goal has always been to get back to education in some way. It's just building up to that, but I didn't even realize they were lacking that. So thank you all.
I'm so glad to work with Alfred, because like I said, we both come from similar backgrounds. We were both kids who had 180 IQs. You know what I'm saying? We were literal geniuses. And I'm not refined though. He had that chance to be more refined and go to college. But I'm sitting here, we're in the same school, we're supposed to graduate same year and all. I got kicked out of the same creative class that he was in because of the things I'm saying. And I'm sitting around here skipping classes and walking through one of the most prestigious art schools down here. just because I'm so different. But they supposed to be curating, you know,
Yeah.
incubating, helping me out. But no, I didn't get that though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because
And
of
then
how I
also,
thought.
I-
I
yeah.
thought very differently.
Yeah.
And I was not ashamed to say how I thought. I was totally different, and I used to get in trouble so much for being a rebel, being honest.
For being who you
Yes.
are, just in the wrong season.
Yeah.
I mean, didn't even Jesus at like 12 years old try to step out and be Jesus at 30?
What is your contribution to
My
changing
contribution.
things?
I feel like I contribute daily because I'm so adamant about people not allowing outsiders to identify who they are or being afraid of what people are going to say or think. Although there have been times, even with me doing this, I had to get out of that mentality of like, oh, but people don't know me for doing this, and people don't, they might not accept me or say mean things. I was like, but who did God say I am? Because that's ultimately what I'm here to do. I'm on assignment for him and his kingdom. And so I do that daily. And then with children, something similar. I would love to go back to Mississippi, where I will go back to Mississippi, where I'm from, because I don't think everybody has to go to college. I didn't want to go to college, but I went because I didn't want to be the failure or look like the failure. So I would love to have some sort of school that has art and media for people, almost like a trade school, but not repairing cars or doing hair. If they want to do hair, that's fine, but that's not going to be what I offer. So that's going to be my contribution, and also what I'm doing here.
Yeah, that's my next question. How do you feel what you're doing here? How do you feel having a web series in which you're documenting behind the scenes of your life and the different facets of other people's lives and in entertainment will really help people essentially discover a part of themselves?
Yeah. I think people don't really get to see the process. So I'll look at people who I'm inspired by, and I wish I knew the pitfalls, or I wish I knew how long it took, or that it's not all peaches and roses. So I think it's allowing people to see the process, because you're literally seeing me go through process. This has been one of the most difficult years of my entire life in a lot of different ways, and maybe I'll speak more in detail about it at another time. But hearing his story about being expelled for something that he's now being paid for, you hear those stories, but it's like, oh, you actually get to see the process and hear the process of how he got to there. Like, it was friendship who helped him get there. It's the people that you're surrounded by, your family, because your family can also be will be very detrimental to your development too, I feel. So yeah, it's allowing people to see the behind the scenes of people's lives. It's not just behind the scenes of the movie industry. It's really just the process of becoming who God created you to be.
Yeah. Great foundation is everything.
Yeah. That's my first episode of my whole series. It's called Solid Foundation.
Can you tell everybody about HStacks, HStacks.com, HStacks the app.
Yeah, man. So check us out, HStacks.com, ATESTAX. That's the home base. That's the internet hub. We got HStacks Instagram. We have the House of HStacks right here, Bel Air Mall. When you look right here, I'm gonna show you guys something. So when you first come in here, there's really this is the only place there's real literature. You have a thought, a dream, a sound, your clothing, a vehicle, home. What entertains you? It's the sports equipment you play with, music you listen to, technology we use. Things we use daily start with the concept, sketch and design. Artists everywhere in our world. Besides love, it's what makes us. Here at the Construct, we believe in putting the arts in the forefront.
Thank you.
Remember, got 3 guns like a tree gun. They fast as thin. That went over their head. But when I'm shooting,